Hello everybody, this is Chick Wilfong, and normally this is the part where I'd say, and I know Pancho Villa. Well, let's talk about some other stuff I know. First things first. See this spot on my nose? I've got a new Jack Russell puppy, and she bit me on the nose playing the other day. So, unlike the spot on my lip from the roping calf when I told the old gambler, no, I still don't have herpes. Those of you that said that's what they thought it was. My only answer to that is, gosh, what an asshole to all of you that said it. Second, on the old gambler joke, I realize that there's a lot of similarities. In fact, the first time I've ever watched it was 2 days ago when Quentin Tarantino tells it. The joke I told couldn't have come from further away and couldn't have been any further from the Quentin Tarantino deal, because it came from an old man that had heard it in the 60s. So, lighten up, folks. If you tell a joke to somebody and you're not the original person, you probably shouldn't get crucified like I have on this damn page. Let's see. Third thing, oh yeah. Those of you that want to let me know that I'm fat, for God's sakes, y'all need some Jesus in your life. Damn, people. Now, that said, there was a boy going through a little West Texas town in the middle of the night. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was in a bind, had to use a restroom. And if you've never lived out here in this part of the country or never traveled through it very often, if there's not an Allsup's or something open in the middle of the night, you're kind of shit out of luck. And this boy was in a bind. He had to go to the bathroom. And so he finally finds a little Allsup's in this town, and he goes inside, and sure as hell somebody else is in just as big a bind as he was, and they done gone in there and locked the door and tending to their deal. So he hunkers down and runs out of that Allsup's and looks up, and he's kind of in the middle of a residential area, and he runs and gets out in this great big old yard in front of this great big old pretty big old white house, and he hunkers down there by the flower bed and goes to taking a shit. Well, what he didn't see was the old lady that was sitting on the porch out in the middle of the night air, minding her own business because she was so quiet. And about that time, she stood up and leaned over the railing. She says, "Sonny, what are you doing?" "Oh, goodness, ma'am, I'm sorry." And of course, he's right in the middle of what he's doing. There's no way he could stop. He's trying to finish up, and she starts down the steps towards him. He says, "Ma'am, please don't come down here. Please don't come down here. Leave me alone." She says, "Oh, Sonny, I want to see what you're doing." She got down there close to him, and she said, "Oh, what are you doing?" He says, "Well, ma'am, I had to use the bathroom bad, and I'm sorry. I didn't think there was anybody watching, or I wouldn't have done it. I feel just something fierce about it. I feel terrible." She said, "Well, that's all right, I guess. Said, but I got a question for you, Sonny. It's been a long time since I've been around a man." Says, What's that hanging down there?" He looked and says, "You mean my balls?" She said, "Yeah, your balls. What the hell?" Said, "Would you mind if I felt to one of them just a little bit?" He thought, well, I did get caught shitting in her yard. So he says, "Yes, ma'am, I guess so." And she's doing like that with that one rubbing on it. She said, "You mind if I feel the other one?" Well, he felt bad about being in her yard taking a shit. And so he said, "Yes, ma'am, I suppose you can." And she's rubbing like this. And she said, "Now, don't you ever shit in my yard again." Y'all have a good day.